All right. Hey, this your boy Rodney Perry. Tune in to Rodney Perry Live. Let's do this, man. Let's take a quick break. We come back. Miss Desiree Lee. Wow. Wait till you hear this story.
You're awesome.
What?
You're awesome.
Stop it.
Mommy, somebody asked, how can
He's
they
about
call
to make
in?
me cry. Was he about to weep?
Okay, listen, that was super sad. I was like, okay.
You already? Hello? Ian. Well, you about to make me cry.
Super sad.
Somebody wants to call me, I
Dude,
guess.
you.
Yeah, but
how are you,
I
man?
started a new scope and I ended it, so
So they're gone?
yeah.
I'll get the number though, so you'll have it.
Okay. I'm sure they'll come back in.
Oh, wow.
Are you taking pictures?
I took some pictures.
Yeah. It's gotta be done. Let me tell you something, man. It gets very fucked up before it gets really great. And, you could have done that part, so just get ready. Alright. Man, nothing but a thing, man, and we'll be sharing it, man. They tell me if she got any graphics or any pictures or something, you know, just send it over. Send it to us and we'll post it this afternoon. Well, man. We good. Yeah. What is that?
You hear the same songs over and over again and always ask me.
Who is that?
That's Jay Holiday.
Is it? That's not my favorite Snoop J. Holiday. It's another one I
It
really
was
like.
just in there in the queue.
Oh,
when
really?
You shot to a song, so
I know, right?
that's what we got right.
Get what you get, right?
You get sometimes.
This dude from Rochester called me last night.
Man.
The prayer dude.
Yeah, I can't remember his name right now.
He
Val
was sending me a
Smith.
prayer every day. But they be this long.
No, they're
I'm not
so
reading.
long.
I'm gonna miss that prayer. If you give me,
I've not read one of them.
if it don't fit on the, what you say, JT, anything,
You gotta click that more button.
more, and you gotta click more, and they gonna happen. One character over more.
You gotta add the numbers for the lottery. I would have not seen it. Click more.
Okay,
You
she's
go
back.
press more, you'll get the next winning lottery
I
number.
don't know what it is. I have to find out.
That's funny.
Mommy, she's back. The one who asked the number to call in.
Make sure you gotta ask me something.
One moment, baby. I'll get it, okay?
I've been on Periscope almost, I was on pretty early. Because I think it was like 2 months old when I got on. And, you know, I mean, I did the MySpace thing and Facebook and Twitter. And I always felt like I was behind, you know, getting in. And when I saw Periscope, I was like, yo, that's like, this is the outset. So this is a great time to be there. Anything less than a year, you're in. She's doing good.
I so love it. I so love Periscope.
I think
I'm able
it's.
to connect with people.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
50 seconds, RP. Did you get the graphic I just sent you? On your phone.
So, what is it for them?
30 seconds.
Hey, we in heaven, in the studios, sending prayers out to Mr. Ian and his family. this can be a tough time of year for a lot of people, man. I mean, most of us look at Thanksgiving and Christmas as a festive time, and it's that for most everybody. But for some people, it's just not. So if you got somebody close to you or near you that you can help out, or you can just give them some time or some energy, do that this holiday season, man, because you never know what people are going through. In the studio, let me start here first. I love social media. I tweet, I Instagram, I Facebook, I Periscope. And in Periscoping, you tend to, you meet people. And people like become your friends. And I was trolling, which I do. I go around just popping people's pages, look, see what they talking about. If they not talking about nothing, I bounce. And I came across this young lady, Desiree Lee, and I was amazed by her story. And you're so transparent, which I think is important. You have to be transparent, especially on a medium like Periscope. And you're that, first of all, you're gorgeous. That don't hurt. Even your old jail pictures is fine. So, the name of the book, Inmate 1142980 is your story. Tell me about it.
Well, thank you so much for extending the invitation for me to share my story. And you're absolutely right. Transparency goes a very, very long way. And so I'm very grateful to just be in your presence. In high school, I had a 3.8 GPA.
Smarty pants.
Oh, yeah. See, I got that too in high school. And 2 basketball scholarships. On my way to college, center and power forward.
Really?
Man, I was bad.
You was killing them. I love it. Okay.
Absolutely. And so my mom, she was that parent, being from a single parent household. My parents divorced when I was around 10 years old. Okay. So I had the opportunity to see them together, and they did a good job co-parenting. However, she's like, with education, you have the best chance to win. And I was trying to fill those voids, Rodney, And so I did pursue education. I did have a 3.8 GPA. Right. But for me, what was important at 17 years old was fitting in and being validated by the crowd.
Okay.
That's what was important. And so 2 weeks after I graduated from high school.
With a 3.8?
With a 3.8. I was incarcerated for 11 counts of armed robbery and 5 counts of aggravated assault. And I was facing 135 years in prison.
Get out of
at
here.
17 years old here in the state of Georgia. And for so many, people would think, because you came from a certain type of environment, certain type of background, certain type of grade.
That's not your story.
That's not it. You're not at risk. So I don't like at risk. I really believe that every teenager is at risk.
Oh, wow.
Because all it takes is one decision, one 10-minute decision,
change your life.
Absolutely.
So take me back. You got the GPA. You're a smart girl. You're an athlete. Who were those people? Were you bullied?
Yeah, I was picked on. However,
did the bullying lead to this, to the event?
It didn't, but it did play a part.
Okay.
It was part of one of the variables, because you're being picked on because you're taller than the boys.
Wow.
And of course, as a girl, young teenage girl, you want to be liked by the boys.
True.
You have bigger feet because you're so tall. I had really bad acne, and the guys weren't really into that, and the girls were picking on that.
Wow.
So if you have the grades, they don't. Of course, they pick on you. You have parents that care, that set those rules and boundaries. Right. Some parents don't. But the problem, Rodney, this was really what transitioned it. Mm-hmm. I was trying very, very hard to have a friendship with my mom, and she put the law down on me. She said, I'm your parent, I'm not your friend.
Okay.
I understand that. But when I went to her for friendship advice, this guy likes me, what do I do? I'm the parent, I'm not your friend. So who did I go to, Rodney? I went to my friends.
Went to your friend. That was dumb and stupid.
Yeah, and didn't know no better. And from their advice, that's when I made those types of decisions.
Right. Wow. So, okay. So, as I'm assuming your mom is still with us.
Oh, absolutely.
As y'all reflect back,
Mm-hmm.
does she have regrets about not being that friend for you?
Well, she says she should have been the parent first, but the friend second.
Right.
The parent
Instead
first,
of not being a friend at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Listen more, you know, than to always react as the parental. You know, she was raised in Compton, California, so it's like, look, you do what I say, not as I do type of mom.
And as a young parent of myself, sometimes you just don't know.
You don't.
You know, I mean, I can remember my son, you know, I was on the Monique show, literally in the front yard choking my son.
Oh, wow.
And I learned through, you know, over years, like, you know, you spank them kids, whoop them kids.
Yeah.
And you learn those ideas. And, I, you know, as I look as a parent now, I said, I don't know if that works. But we were at that crossroads. And I was like, yo, this is not right. This is not the way this should be. So you make the mistake, aggravated assault, armed robbery. What are you thinking the first night in jail?
I was scared to death.
Yeah. Because it gets real. It's real.
Terrified.
You're in real life right now.
Terrified. Because this is what I only
They try you
saw.
as an adult?
Yes, there's 5 states here in the United States that will try you as an adult if you do one of the deadly sins, meaning that murder, or robbery, attempted murder,
Armed robbery is a deadly
aggravated
sin?
assault. Yes, there's a whole list. And so, of course, it's mostly the southern states. It's Georgia, it's Florida, it's Alabama, Mississippi, and Texas that will try a young adult a teenager as an adult. And actually sentence them and actually send them to an adult prison, and etc. How I wish I would have listened to my mom, because at that moment, 4 weeks before, she tried everything she can do to get me to come home. She even lied and say the car was stolen. It was the car, I was just a driver in the car that she got me for my graduation gift. And so driving around, I didn't know how to come home, Rodney. I didn't know how to come home and to tell my mom what had happened, what was going on. I didn't know how. And so I stayed out even further and just went to the extreme.
Okay, so you guys had some altercation. You leave home. And at some point you want to come home. You want to come back.
Of course.
Yeah. But you, like you said, you don't know how. You don't know how to get back. You know what? It's interesting to hear this, because I think a lot of us have lived this. You know, I remember my mama threw me out. She was like, "Look, we're not gonna do that.
Take everything that you bought
and go." And I remember thinking she was the worst person in the world. But immediately, what kind of was my wake up call is the people that I went to. That was like, you know, you can stay here. 8 hours into my stay over there, they was like, we're going to need some rent money. And I was like, yo, I'm going back to my house. You know, so that was my wake-up call. But anything could have happened. And that anything happened to you. The day when you're in it, can you even talk about it? I mean, I don't want to cover the book. I don't want to cover it all. But, like... Did you know or have a sense of what you were getting into?
Well, I was going based off of what I saw on television. I was going based off of what I saw on TV, on the movies, and different things like that in regards to incarceration. And